Hello, my name is Tyler Andrews, and today we are going to be doing something that I literally just did, but as I always like to say, I am going to do it once again. This time we are going to be reviewing the entire DC Extended Universe, but this time so first off, we have Man of Steel, and this was around the time where DC had a fetish with putting superhero catchphrases and nicknames in their titles rather than the actual superhero itself. This is basically a goth version of the Superman that we know. Henry Cavill does an alright job, but I think he does better in future movies, if I am going to be totally honest with you. I wouldn't say that this is a terrible movie, but I wouldn't say that this is a great movie. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 5.5. And then we have Dawn of Justice, a Justice League intro movie, aka Batman v Superman, which you should never ever call this movie, because at heart it is not about Batman v Superman, despite the fact that that is all I wanted from this movie. Rather, it is a movie about the dilemma of whether or not superheroes are too powerful and whether we as humans are too weak to handle Superman. And it's the same stuff you've heard before about every other superhero, except this time it's more boring than usual. 2 out of 10. So then we have 2016's Suicide Squad, which, just like the entire population of Denver, Colorado, is extremely high on drugs. This movie is the epitome of what happens when you give an editor too much power in the editing booth. This could have been something, but instead it was absolutely nothing and was, let's be honest, a cluster, to say the least. 4 out of 10. And then we have 2017's Wonder Woman, and no, this did not star Linda Carter because she is a bit too old for the role now. Instead, it has Gal Gadot, which is a worthy replacement. She does a phenomenal job. Between the accent and the acting abilities, she basically plays the character to perfection, which I knew the second I saw her in Batman v Superman. I just needed to see it in a whole movie for me to make sure of it. All the way up until the third act, this movie is truly something to behold. Did a really good job with everything in between. Chris Pine and Gal Gadot have amazing chemistry. Moving on, this movie is an 8.5 out of 10. Then we have 2017's Justice League, and this movie is very much so like my last relationship. Very, very bumpy. It has some good parts, it has some bad parts, but overall it is just a very meh movie. 6 out of 10. Then we have my favorite DCEU movie, personally, Aquaman. You have everything you could want in this movie. You have Boba Fett, you have Jason Momoa, and not to mention, you have cool action set pieces, which is something you absolutely always need for a superhero movie. Let's go ahead and give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. Then we have Shazam, which for some reason is a Christmas movie despite being released in July. That's a little odd there, Warner Brothers. I'm just gonna say it. Regardless, I'd say Chuck does a pretty good job of playing the character himself, Shazam. And at heart, this is just a fun comedy that the whole entire family could enjoy, except for the ones that aren't a fan of superhero movies. I'm gonna go ahead and give Shazam an 8 out of 10. Then we have the latest installment in the DCEU, the Harley Quinn movie, or as Warner Brothers would like us to say, Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Because God forbid they put Harley Quinn in the title of a movie about Harley Quinn. But other than that, Obi-Wan and everybody else followed through with an amazing performance, and Margot Robbie did a great job. I'm just critiquing things because, well, that is my job. Actually, it's not my job. I don't get paid to do this, but we'll just pretend I do. I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie a deserving 7.5 out of 10.